The hidden reason men fear a woman's silence, Carl Jung. Have you ever wondered why a man grows uneasy when you stop explaining yourself? Silence exposes a truth he can't manage with jokes, logic, or control, the unknown. In Jungian terms, when a woman withdraws from noise, texts, reassurance, overgiving, she becomes a screen for a man's projections. He meets his shadow in the space she refuses to fill. The mind hates ambiguity, and the male ego, trained to solve, scrambles to name what it can't read. That scramble, searching, second-guessing, trying to decode, is the fear you're noticing. Your quiet doesn't attack him, it confronts his inner chaos. He's not only wondering what you think, he's meeting parts of himself he avoids, insecurity, jealousy, the boy who wasn't chosen. This is why your silence feels powerful. It's not a game. It's containment, and containment is authority. You may feel the urge to break the quiet and manage his feelings. That urge is also projection. You imagine he is inventing the worst story about you, so you rush to correct it. Resist the panic to narrate who you are. Instead, write for 10 minutes, what story am I afraid he's telling about me? Then ask, what proof do I actually have? Circle facts, cross out assumptions. End with one sentence you choose to believe about yourself that does not require his agreement. This is shadow work at the level of thought hygiene. Silence also interrupts intermittent reinforcement, the same pattern that binds people into trauma bonds. When you stop replying instantly, the emotional slot machine goes quiet. He may escalate, double texts, sarcasm, sudden warmth. The system wants its hit. If you fear losing him, you'll be tempted to compensate with flattery or explanations. Remember Epictetus, some things are up to you, some are not. What's up to you is the timing and clarity of your communication, not his reaction. A practical drill, adopt a 24-hour response window for charged topics. During that window, do a nervous system reset, 4 seconds in, 7 hold, 8 out, repeated 4 times, and write a 3-line reply that states your position without apology or persuasion. Delay reactivity, protect dignity. Another reason men fear your silence, it dethrones the performance loop. Many men are conditioned to win connection by providing, impressing, or entertaining. When you don't reward the performance with instant enthusiasm, he confronts a deeper question: who am I when I'm not being applauded? Jung called this the encounter with the self, the move from persona to essence. Your containment invites that move. But you must also survive the discomfort of not filling the gap with praise. To train this, practice a daily 5-minute quiet sit. No music, no phone. Notice the impulse to check, reassure, or reach. Name it out loud, impulse to chase. Then let it pass. This is abstinence from compulsive responding, and it rebuilds inner authority. Your silence can also trigger his anima, his inner feminine. If he's cut off from his own feeling life, your quiet is misread as coldness rather than depth. He may try to provoke you into reacting so he can feel alive without facing himself. Don't take the bait. Ask yourself 2 questions before you respond to any provocation: is this a genuine bid for understanding, or an attempt to regulate his anxiety through me, and what boundary keeps me in self-respect here? Answer briefly, then act. If it's a bid, schedule a time to talk. If it's anxiety regulation, keep it short: I'm available to talk calmly tomorrow at 6. If not, another time. You protect connection without becoming his regulator. Women often break their silence because solitude feels like failure. Loneliness, not the man, is the real antagonist. Jung warned that what we will not face within, we will meet outside as fate. If you fear evenings without his attention, you'll treat your phone like oxygen. Replace the habit with structure. Design a sovereignty hour each day, 20 minutes of movement, 20 minutes of skill, reading, language, craft, 20 minutes of reflection. In reflection, answer, what did I want him to give me today that I can give myself? Then do one small act that meets that need: cook a nourishing meal, call a grounded friend, or go to bed on time. Self-keeping dissolves the panic that makes silence unbearable. Another challenge is the inner critic disguised as your animus, the internal masculine that, when immature, pushes you to justify and perform. It whispers, say more or he'll leave. Mature it through discipline. Try the 2-column dialogue for 7 days. On the left, write the critic's line. On the right, answer with a measured, principled response, I choose clarity over approval. Pair this with a firm phrase you'll use in real time, I've said what I need to say. Repetition builds a new groove where restraint feels natural instead of threatening. Finally, be clear on ethics, silence is a boundary, not a weapon. You aren't stonewalling, you are choosing intentional speech. When communication is warranted, speak with clean lines, name the issue, state your standard, offer a next step. For example, I value calm, direct conversation. If we can do that, I'm open to talk tomorrow. If not, I'll step back. This preserves your integrity and gives him a path to meet you without drama. When a man demands instant clarity, what he wants is relief from uncertainty. Many will rush to define the relationship, your feelings, or your schedule on their timeline, not because depth is present, but because control feels safer than curiosity. In analysis, the psyche prefers a labeled box to an open door. When you don't fill in the blank, he confronts his own tolerance for ambiguity. If you tend to collapse under that pressure, you are likely trading self-respect for temporary calm. Train your voice with the 3-sentence discipline. Sentence 1 names the topic, sentence 2 states your standard, sentence 3 offers a next step. For example, I prefer to move slowly. I won't make decisions under pressure. Let's revisit this on Friday. Practice this aloud once a day so your nervous system learns that calm limits are safe to speak. Another pattern is overfunctioning. You explain, soothe, plan, and carry both sides of the conversation. He becomes passive, you become exhausted. Overfunctioning is not love, it's anxiety management. To reset, run a responsibility split for the next week. Each evening, list what you did to maintain the connection and what he did. If your column is consistently heavier, reduce your actions by 30% for 7 days, fewer prompts, fewer check-ins, fewer fixes. Pair it with a no rescue rule, do not solve problems he created. If he cancels, you do not scramble to reschedule. The goal is not punishment but balance. Attachment dynamics often intensify during quiet periods. Anxious partners read silence as rejection, avoidant partners use it to dodge intimacy. If you see this dance, adopt an attachment pause protocol. First, label your state in writing, anxious or avoidant. Second, choose one stabilizer. For anxiety, limit contact seeking to 1 message per 24 hours and do a 10-minute body scan before sending anything. For avoidance, schedule a 30-minute connection window this week and keep it. Then share one concrete preference rather than a vague feeling, I'd like one planned call midweek. Honest structure beats reactive guessing. Silence can trigger cognitive distortions. Your mind might jump to, he's done, I ruined it, or, he's with someone else. These are stories, not facts. Use a 2-column thought audit. Left column, the automatic thought. Right column, evidence for and against. End with a balanced replacement, we're in a slower phase, I'll evaluate in 2 weeks. Set a reminder for that evaluation date and leave the story alone in the meantime. This converts rumination into a scheduled review, which calms the system and keeps your choices deliberate. Testing behavior is common when a man is unsettled by your restraint. He may send bait, provocative jokes, sudden compliments or sexual cues, to pull you back into the old rhythm. Do not moralize, observe the pattern. Keep a pattern log for 14 days. Note the trigger, his move, your impulse, and your choice. Pre-write 3 boundary phrases you'll use on loop, not available for late-night chats, I respond during the day, let's talk when you can be respectful. Repetition trains both of you. You are not negotiating your baseline every time, you're reinforcing it. Digital spaces magnify anxiety. Watching his stories, checking likes, or measuring response time makes your silence noisy. Establish digital boundaries for 30 days. Mute his accounts, remove him from close friends, and disable last seen where possible. Replace checking with a fixed substitution. Each time you want to look, do 5 slow squats and drink a glass of water. Track compliance on paper. At the end of 30 days, decide whether contact serves your values. Don't decide in the middle of a spike. Family of origin echoes can make quiet feel dangerous. If you were trained to keep peace by talking, silence will feel like abandonment or rebellion. Bring adult structure to the feeling. Write a short letter to your younger self. You're safe even when you're not fixing things. Place it where you text the most. Then do a 5-minute grounding ritual before any difficult reply. Feet on the floor, name 5 objects you see, 3 sounds you hear, 1 physical sensation you feel. Only respond after your breath is even. You are teaching your body that you choose speech, not fear. Some men misread your restraint as indifference and escalate with urgency. We need to talk now. Urgency can be a power move or genuine concern. Sort it by process. Reply once, happy to talk with clear tone and a set time. If he agrees, schedule it. If he pushes for now, return to your standard, not available now. Tomorrow at 6 works. If escalation continues, step back for 72 hours. Use that time to draft a clarity note of 100 to 150 words that states what you want and what you will not accept. Send it once, do not argue about it afterward. Finally, replace the attention you're withdrawing with self-keeping. Build a values calendar for the next 2 weeks. Choose 3 anchor habits that reinforce sovereignty: sleep window, nutrition window, and focused work block. Score each day 0 to 1 for each habit. Aim for a simple 70% consistency. Add a weekly review with 3 questions. Where did I keep my word to myself? Where did I leak energy into chasing? What boundary improved my peace? Make one adjustment based on those answers and implement it for the next week. Your life becomes the stable frame that no text thread can shake. Some women meet pressure with a different trap, being nice until they vanish into compliance. You answer quickly, soften every edge, and perform understanding you don't feel. This is the fawn response dressed up as maturity. It keeps the peace while costing you respect. Interrupt it with a simple sequence. Before you reply, ask, am I trying to be chosen, or am I choosing? If you're chasing approval, pause for 10 minutes. Then send one clear line that names your position without sugarcoating. I'm not available for late-night arguments. We can talk tomorrow. Follow with silence. Your nervous system learns that firmness can be calm. Projection is another storm. He hints you're distant or disloyal. You rush to defend yourself, and now you are on trial in a court that only exists in his head. Step out of the courtroom. Use a projection reversal note. On one page, write, his claim, my fear, my fact. Example, his claim, you're losing interest, my fear, he'll leave, my fact, I kept 2 plans this week and replied within a day. Share only the fact, I've kept plans and been responsive. If you need more frequency, ask for it. No debate, no dossier. You refuse to dance with a shadow. The pursuer-distancer loop can make quiet feel like warfare. He texts more when you step back, you step further back when he leans in. Break the loop with a repair window. Offer one container that protects both nervous systems. I'm open to a calm 30-minute call on Wednesday at 7. After that I'm off for the night. Keep it. If he escalates outside the window, do not follow. If he meets you in the window, reward the behavior you want with presence and clarity. You are training the relationship to respect agreed time, not adrenaline. Some people use quiet as punishment and call it boundaries. That corrodes trust. Do a silence audit before stepping back. Check intention, am I trying to regulate myself or control him? Check invitation, have I named when and how I'll re-engage? Check timeline, is there a clear review point? If all three are clean, proceed. You might say, I'm offline this weekend to reset. Happy to talk Monday at 6. This is not a cold wall, it's structured space. Your inner critic, Jung's immature Animus, often demands that you argue like a lawyer. It lectures you to make the perfect case. You don't need a case, you need a boundary. Use the Socratic 5. Ask, what do I know? What don't I know? What's under my control? What's the smallest useful action? When will I review? Then act. Example, you know you want respectful tone, you don't know his state, you control your availability, smallest action is one message, review in 48 hours. Send, I'm available when we can speak respectfully. Try me tomorrow after 6. Put it on the calendar and stop explaining. Silence creates room for individuation, the move from persona to self. The cost is losing the role of agreeable woman. That loss can feel like social death. Ease it with micro-rebellions. Once a day, deliver a value-coded no, because my sleep window matters. Say it to small requests first, then to bigger ones. Practice a 5-minute rehearsal before hard conversations, stand, speak your 2-sentence boundary out loud, and end with, this is enough. The body learns that brevity is safety. Catastrophic thinking thrives when contact slows. Your mind spins worst-case stories shaped by the old abandonment wound. Contain it with a worry appointment. Choose a 15-minute slot each day for fear. Outside of that slot, write saved for 8:30 and return to your task. In the slot, empty the fears onto paper. Close by writing one grounded intention for the next 24 hours, hold my response window and finish my workout. You honor the fear without letting it run your day. Standards and preferences are not the same. Many conflicts come from mixing them. Standards protect dignity, preferences add comfort. Define 3 non-negotiables for communication, such as respectful tone, planned calls, and follow-through. Keep the list short. Then list flexible preferences like time of day or message length. When you speak, name the category, this is a standard for me, or this is a preference I can adapt. Clarity reduces arguments disguised as misunderstandings. There is a shadow on the other side of power, superiority. When silence works, you may grow dismissive and cold. Superiority keeps you safe but keeps you alone. Run a humility check after any hard boundary. Ask, did I honor the person while protecting myself? If the answer is no, send a repair line that keeps your standard intact, I stand by my boundary. I also appreciate what we share and I'm open to talk within the plan we set. Authority and respect can coexist. Finally, give your future self proof that restraint builds life. Create a weekly sovereignty review. Answer 3 questions on Sunday night. Where did I keep my word to myself? Where did I use silence as a weapon instead of a boundary? What one behavior this week moved me closer to peace? Choose one adjustment for the next 7 days and commit to it. Progress, not perfection, is the point. Silence becomes a skill, not a stunt. Silence reveals whether a man is relating to you or to his own fantasy. When you step back from constant commentary, you see how he moves without prompts. If he only engages when you perform warmth, his interest is in the performance. If he initiates with respect, asks real questions, and tolerates a slower pace, he is meeting you, not a script. To test this cleanly, try a communication budget for 2 weeks. Decide a daily cap for messages and calls that keeps you present in your life. Hold to it even when anxiety spikes. At the end of each day, note who initiated, who proposed the next step, and whether your needs were heard. This simple record keeps you out of wishful thinking and inside observable reality. Many women fear that quiet will make a man disappear. You may keep chasing clarity because uncertainty stings more than loss. This is an avoidance of grief. Grief is not the end, it is proof that you have standards. Create a decision date for the next issue you keep spinning. Write a single page stating what you want, what you will not accept, and what evidence you need to continue. Put a date 10 to 14 days out. Until that date, live your life and stop renegotiating in your head. On the date, decide based on the evidence you have, not the potential you wish for. This is restraint as self-respect. Physical pacing matters. Many women use intimacy to create certainty and then resent the dissonance that follows. Choose abstinence for a set period, not as punishment, but as an experiment in clarity. 30 days is enough to see who can connect without shortcuts. During this period, practice a body boundary check before every date. Sit for 2 minutes and ask, do I want contact, or do I feel pressure to give it? If the answer is pressure, name the boundary out loud, I'm taking intimacy slowly right now. Pair it with an alternative that still builds connection, like a walk, a daytime plan, or a shared skill. Your body learns that desire is allowed to arrive on its own timeline. Rescuing habits often sneak back when things go quiet. You anticipate his needs, over-explain your intentions, or ask double questions to keep him engaged. This is control wearing kindness. Replace rescuing with the one offer rule. You offer once, clearly, and without eagerness. If he does not meet you there, you let it go. Track your ratio of offers to responses for a week. Aim for 1-to-1. If your offers far exceed his, lower your output until the exchange balances or becomes obviously lopsided. Clarity grows where rescuing ends. Individuation requires a values-to-behavior map. Many women can name values, respect, honesty, stability, yet communicate in ways that contradict them. Translate each value into a visible behavior. Respect becomes planned conversations, not midnight arguments. Honesty becomes direct statements rather than hints. Stability becomes predictable availability, not nervous chasing. Pick one value and practice its behavior for 7 days. Journal each evening, where did I act this value? Where did I drop it? What cue would help me tomorrow? Repetition turns ideals into habits you can trust. Envy can surface when you hold silence and see other women rewarded for constant availability. Envy is information, it shows you what you desire and what you fear you cannot have. Convert it into a blueprint. Name the trait you envy in clear terms, then choose a small action that builds it in your life without copying anyone. If you envy a woman's social confidence, your action might be one new event a week with a friend. If you envy her boundaries, your action is one clean no every day. You stop competing by becoming responsible for your own growth. The Stoic dichotomy of control is a daily tool, not a slogan. Each morning, write 2 lines, up to me, and not up to me. Under the first, include your tone, timing, body care, and attention. Under the second, place his replies, moods, and choices. When anxiety rises, read the list and take the next action under up to me. Pair this with a short negative visualization. Imagine the relationship slowing down or ending. See yourself handling it with dignity, sleeping, working, speaking kindly to friends. Doing this for 60 seconds lowers the fear of loss and returns you to choice. Nervous systems flip between activation and shutdown during silence. You might oscillate between impulse and numbness. Use a simple halt check before you contact him. Ask if you are hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. If any are true, regulate first. Eat, take a walk, call a grounded friend, or nap. Only reach out once your body is level. This prevents you from making permanent moves in temporary states. End the day by rating your regulation on a 10-point scale and noting which habits improved it. Over time, you will see that peace is built, not found. Digital sobriety remains a core discipline. Measurement helps. For the next month, keep a small scorecard. Record days you avoided checking his social media, days you maintained your response window, and days you honored your sleep. Aim for consistency, not perfection. If you slip, reset immediately without self-attack. Progress is evidence that your life has a center outside of his attention. That center is what your silence protects. When quiet stretches, some men label it manipulation. They call it a game because they feel the pressure of having to relate without shortcuts. You do not need to defend a clean boundary, but you do need to be clear with yourself about intent. If your silence is meant to punish, you will feel rigid and righteous. If it is meant to regulate, you will feel steady and available later. Before any step back, write a process line you could share if needed. I pause to think so I can speak calmly and clearly. Keep it in your notes. If accused, repeat the line once and stop arguing. Then choose the earliest time you can re-engage with composure. This diffuses the power struggle and returns you to self-government. Breadcrumbing thrives in the fog around mixed signals. He appears with warmth, disappears, returns with crumbs. You may answer because the crumbs validate you. Set a consistency threshold. Decide the minimum rhythm that sustains your nervous system, perhaps one planned call a week and follow through on plans. Hold it for 1 month. When behavior falls below threshold, reply with a single clarity sentence: "This pace doesn't work for me. If it changes, I'm open to reconnect." Archive the thread. To keep yourself from reopening it in a spike, put a 24-hour delay between any urge and any message. During the delay, move your body for 10 minutes and complete one task you've been avoiding. Your life moves forward while the dust settles. Silence can slide into avoidance when fear masquerades as strength. Jung warned that what you repress returns in sharper forms. If you find yourself withholding even when dialogue would help, practice measured warmth. Choose one conversation this week where you will state appreciation and boundary in the same breath: "I value our connection, I need slower pacing." This protects dignity without freezing the bond. To train the muscle, rehearse in front of a mirror for 2 minutes a day, focusing on even tone and relaxed shoulders. Your goal is not to win, but to stay coherent. Conflict often peaks at night, when fatigue magnifies triggers. Create a personal ceasefire rule after a chosen hour. If a conversation heats up, use a process statement: "I'm pausing the discussion to reset. I'm available tomorrow at 6. Then follow your plan. To keep the pause from becoming stonewalling, schedule a specific re-entry. Prepare with a 3-part script you'll use in the call: describe the behavior you observed, the impact on you, and the standard going forward. Keep it under 90 seconds. Afterwards, stop repeating yourself. Repetition erodes respect, clarity invites decision. Your internal masculine, the Animus, needs maturation, so you stop outsourcing structure to him. Give yourself what you hope he will provide: clear plans, financial order, and consistent rituals. Start with a morning protocol that does not depend on anyone: wake time, hydration, movement, and 10 minutes of focused work on one priority. Track it daily for 2 weeks and score completion. Self-trust grows when you keep promises to yourself. Each tick on the scorecard is a message to your psyche: you are safe with you. That safety reduces the urge to chase reassurance. Enantiodromia, swinging from one extreme to the other, shows up when a formerly accommodating woman becomes harsh. The antidote is integration. Allow a small, consistent practice of softness that does not cost your boundaries. Send one genuine appreciation each week to people who treat you well. Keep it unrelated to any conflict with him. You are teaching your system that openness and firmness can coexist. This balance makes your silence readable as self-respect rather than contempt. When fear spikes, your body may enter freeze or fawn. You can't reason your way out of a dysregulated state. Use a simple bilateral exercise like the butterfly hug. Cross your arms over your chest, tap left and right slowly while breathing evenly for 1 minute. Name out loud what you feel: anxious, sad, angry. Then ask one orienting question: what is the next right action that aligns with my standard? Take only that step. Somatic order precedes verbal order. If a clarity conversation is due, set a short container. Begin with your shared goal, name the problem behavior, and state the boundary with a future option. For example, I want calm, consistent contact. Late-night arguments and last-minute plans don't work for me. I'm available for one planned call midweek and one weekend plan. If that fits you, let's do it. Stop there. If he negotiates against your peace, the conversation is complete. Write the outcome in a log so you don't rewrite history on lonely days. Evidence protects you from nostalgia. Hot, cold cycles can look romantic but usually reflect poor self-regulation. If he returns after distance, ask for a behavioral change, not a promise. For 30 days, observe whether he initiates plans in advance, keeps times, and adjusts tone when requested. During the same 30 days, maintain your non-negotiables. If your peace improves, continue. If not, end with a concise statement: this dynamic isn't healthy for me. I'm stepping away. Do not extend trials indefinitely. Indecision is a decision against your well-being. Finally, growth needs witnesses. Curate a small circle, 1 or 2 friends who support principled restraint, not drama. Send them your weekly review and one commitment for the next 7 days. Ask them to reply with a simple, "seen." External accountability helps when old patterns call you back. You are not seeking permission, you are strengthening resolve. Covert contracts often collapse in quiet. You do more, speak more, offer more, secretly expecting that he will read the effort and match it. When he doesn't, resentment grows, and your silence turns sour. This isn't love, it's an unspoken deal you made with yourself. Bring it into daylight. Write one page titled, "The Trade I Hoped For." List what you gave and what you expected back. Then convert one expectation into a clean request. You can say, "I'd like one planned date a week." Share it once, without pleading. If he meets you there, you have data. If he doesn't, you have data. Seneca reminded us that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Clarity ends imaginary contracts. Shame reactions are another fault line. Your restraint can touch a man's fear of inadequacy, and shame often expresses as anger, sarcasm, or withdrawal. Many women try to diffuse this by apologizing for needing standards. Don't manage his shame, manage your boundary. Use a simple 2-part line in tense moments: "I want a respectful exchange. I'm stepping back until we can do that." Then step back. To keep your body from spiraling, do 1 minute of paced breathing: inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 6, then take a short walk. Later, if the tone improves, re-engage with a brief appreciation for the healthy shift: "I appreciate the calmer tone." You reward the behavior you want without carrying his emotions. Mind reading is a trap that flourishes in silence. You may analyze one short message as if it were a diagnosis. Convert speculation into process. Before you reply, answer 3 questions on paper: what did he actually say? What do I wish he said? What will I say that aligns with my values? Draft a short response that addresses only what exists, not what you fear or hope. Then set a 10-minute timer, reread the message once, and send. No third draft, no late-night autopsy. Marcus Aurelius said to confine your actions to what is in front of you. Apply that to texts. Contempt is a shadow that can grow when you gain leverage. You start to see him as unworthy of even simple courtesy. Contempt corrodes your own character first. Keep power clean by pairing boundaries with proportionate respect. After a firm line, add one sentence that recognizes shared humanity, without weakening your standard: "I stand by my boundary, and I'm open to repair within the plan." For your own calibration, do a brief reflection after any hard exchange: did I say only what was necessary? Did I slip into insult or diagnosis? If you crossed your value, send a small repair without reopening the fight: "I spoke sharply earlier. I'll keep it direct next time." Self-correction is strength, not submission. Evaluate reality over time rather than in spikes. Create a 30-day viability check. Define 3 behaviors that matter to you: planned contact, respectful tone, and follow-through. Track them daily with a simple yes or no. Add your own behavior, response window, sleep kept, and boundary held, so the review includes your side. At the end of 30 days, ask 3 questions: did my peace improve? Did behavior match words? Did I act in line with my values? Decide from the pattern, not from the best or worst day. This replaces drama with data. Your nervous system needs predictable rest from interpersonal effort. Establish a weekly half-day of intentional quiet, no relationship talk, no checking, no analysis. Plan it like an appointment. Fill it with movement, a focused task, and a nourishing meal. During this block, practice deliberate attention by doing one activity without multitasking, even for 20 minutes. Afterward, write a few lines about how your body felt before and after. Over time, you'll see that peace is not an accident, it is scheduled. The silence you offer others starts with the silence you offer yourself. Integration of your inner masculine stabilizes your boundaries. Jung's mature animus is not a critic, it is a builder. Create a brief inner council note you revisit each morning. 3 voices only: the protector who guards your time, the truth teller who names what is real, and the steward who handles routines. Write 1 sentence as each voice about the day. For example, protector, decline late night calls. Truth teller, the pace is inconsistent. Steward, complete my work block. Then act on at least 1 sentence by nightfall. This ritual reduces the urge to chase structure outside yourself. When endings approach, many people sabotage with messy exits to avoid the clean grief of choice. Keep the end honorable if it comes. Draft a concise closing statement in advance, under 120 words, that reflects your standards without attacking. I value calm and consistency. We've tried to build that, and it hasn't held. I'm stepping away to protect my well-being. I wish you well. Save it. If you need it, send it once. Do not debate it. Begin a 14-day detox that includes sleep protection, social support, and physical movement. In your journal, answer nightly, what did I do today that kept me in self-respect? That evidence prevents backsliding when nostalgia rises. Triangulation often surfaces when silence disrupts the old loop. He name-drops another woman's attention or hints that he's busy with new plans. The goal isn't truth, it's to pull you back into competition so he can feel desired without offering depth. Don't compete with ghosts. State the process and exit: I don't engage in triangles. If you want a direct conversation, suggest a time. Then disengage. To keep yourself steady, write 3 lines right after any triangulation attempt: what he said, what feeling it stirred, what value you'll act from now: respect, clarity, self-care. This prevents you from fighting for a stage you don't want. Urgency disguised as romance is another trap. He asks for an immediate decision, promises change right now, or pushes late-night talks to force momentum. As Marcus Aurelius advised, nothing valuable requires frenzy. Use a 48-hour cooling rule for big moves. During those hours, draw a simple decision map with 2 branches: stay or step back. Under stay, list the concrete behaviors required over the next 30 days. Under step back, list what you'll protect: sleep, work, friendships. Decide only after rest and a meal. You are teaching your body that love is chosen in daylight, not extracted at midnight. Self-silencing builds pressure that eventually explodes. If you grew up trained to keep the peace, your needs may show up only as resentment. Replace backlog with rhythm. Schedule a weekly truth hour with yourself and, when appropriate, with him. In your private hour, answer 3 questions: what is bothering me, what do I want, what boundary protects both? Then, if a conversation is warranted, share 2 truths and 1 clear request in under 90 seconds. For example, I value calm and consistency. Last-minute changes throw me off. I'd like plans set 24 hours in advance. Speak once, let behavior answer. Some men equate feminine quiet with submission or contempt because their inner feminine, the anima, is underdeveloped. Your job isn't to educate him, but clarity helps. Offer a short, operating manual statement you can reuse. My baseline is calm, planned contact and respectful tone. If we can keep that, I'm available. If not, I step back to reset. Keep it under 120 words, store it in your notes, and send it only when needed. You're not pleading, you're publishing terms. If he meets the frame, you'll see it in consistent behavior, not swollen promises. Rumination returns when contact slows. The mind invents theories to close loops that should stay open. Convert loops into plans with implementation intentions. Right, if I feel the urge to check his social media, then I will set a 5-minute timer, do 10 slow breaths, and complete one small task. Pair this with a daily ABCDE thought review from cognitive therapy. Note the activating event, your belief, the consequence, dispute the belief with evidence, and craft an effective new belief. Keep the page to 5 lines so it's usable. Over time, you'll experience that disciplined thinking feels like breathing room, not restriction. Fear of being difficult keeps many women agreeable past their limits. That fear is often the shadow of exile, being pushed out of the group for holding standards. Treat boundary setting like exposure therapy. Give yourself 2 small, no, reps a day in non-romantic contexts. Decline a meeting that can be an email, pass on an invitation that drains you. Say one sentence and stop. As your body learns that no one dies when you hold a line, you'll stop overtalking in relationships. Individuation requires tolerating the small discomfort of being yourself where compliance once lived. Reconciliation after distance requires repair, not rhetoric. Apologies without altered behavior are just a reset button for the same pattern. If he returns, set a clear trial container. For 21 days, look for 3 things: planned contact, respectful tone under stress, and follow-through. State your side too. You will keep your response window, avoid late-night debates, and name concerns once. Journal brief evidence every 3 days. At the end, ask whether the atmosphere improved and whether both of you kept the container. Decide from the log, not from the best evening or the worst argument. Collective scripts also pressure you to translate your silence into softness fast, so you don't look cold. Integration, not performance, is the goal. Practice measured warmth that doesn't blur your edges. Offer precise appreciations when he meets a standard. Thanks for planning ahead, that works for me, and maintain your boundary when he doesn't. This teaches both nervous systems that kindness is not consent to chaos. Jung's individuation is not a pose, it's the daily alignment of word, value, and act. Your attention is your currency. Allocate it on purpose. Set a 2-hour evening block where your phone is out of reach and your focus returns to your life, a skill, workout, or project that feeds your identity. End the block with a 5-line debrief: today's boundary kept, a feeling you regulated, 1 gratitude for your own effort, 1 lesson, and tomorrow's intention. Consistency here makes silence feel like a full room, not a void you're tempted to fill with someone else's inconsistency. Gaslighting often hides inside soft language: you're reading too much into it, you're so sensitive, it was just a joke. When you hear these lines, the goal is to make you doubt your perception so you'll abandon your boundary. Anchor yourself in observable facts. Keep a reality log for 2 weeks: date, event, what was said, what was done, how you felt, and the boundary you stated. If challenged, you don't debate memories, you refer to notes and repeat a clear line: I'm not debating my perception. I'm available to talk about behavior. For your own steadiness, add a quick check with a grounded friend or therapist. Read your log aloud in 2 minutes and ask, what do you hear as the pattern? External reflection dismantles self-doubt. The sunk cost fallacy keeps many women stuck. Time, effort, and hope start to feel like reasons to stay. Investment is not the same as value. Run a simple ledger this week. In one column, list behaviors that increase your peace, in the other, list behaviors that decrease it. Count frequency, not intensity. Then do a premortem, write one page imagining 6 months pass with nothing changing. Name the costs to your sleep, work, friendships, and self-respect. Follow with a best-case page that lists 3 measurable behaviors required from both sides to improve things. Set a review date in 14 days and decide from the ledger, not from wishful thinking. Weekend and nighttime are relapse hours for many patterns. Fatigue and loneliness lower standards. Pre-plan your vulnerable windows. Create a Friday frame that includes a workout, a plan with a friend, and a device cutoff time. Keep it for 4 consecutive weeks. For late-night urges to text, set an automatic pause, write the message in your notes, read it once, and schedule a recheck at 10 a.m. the next day. Most messages won't survive sunlight. Pair this with a sensory reset before bed, warm shower, light stretching, and a page of gratitude focused only on your own actions that day. You train your body to associate night with recovery, not chaos. There is a crucial difference between restorative silence and stonewalling. Restorative silence regulates, stonewalling punishes. Keep your pauses ethical by announcing them and naming a re-entry. Say once, I'm pausing to reset and will be available tomorrow at 7. Put the time on your calendar and keep it. If he continues to push, repeat the process line once and disengage. After the pause, prepare a 60-second structure, describe the concrete behavior, name the impact, state the boundary, and suggest the next step. Speak it once, calmly. This preserves connection for those who can meet you and protects you from spirals with those who cannot. Guilt is a frequent weapon. You may hear, "You're cold, you're selfish," or "You're making this hard." Do not argue your goodness. Practice the broken record boundary with self-compassion. Your line, "I'm choosing calm, not withdrawal. I'm available to talk within the plan." Repeat it exactly, no new content. Then do rain, recognize the guilt, allow it without fixing, investigate where it sits in your body, and nurture yourself with one supportive phrase, such as, "I can be kind and firm at the same time." Pair rain with one behavior that affirms your values, finish your work block, call a friend, or prep a healthy meal. Action dissolves guilt faster than debate. Maturing your inner masculine means building a personal constitution so you stop improvising under stress. Draft one page with your core standards for communication, intimacy, money, time, and conflict. Under each, write 1 or 2 behaviors you'll practice: planned calls, 24-hour cooling, shared expenses clarity, sleep protection, no late-night debates. Read the page each morning for 30 days and track compliance with simple check marks. Add a weekly stress drill, simulate a hard moment by rehearsing your 2-sentence boundary aloud for 2 minutes. When the real test arrives, your body will recognize the lines as familiar, not threatening. When you're ready to re-engage after a pause, skip speeches, and choose a clean framework. Use issue, impact, request in under a minute. When plans change last minute, I feel unsettled and checked out. I want 24 hours notice for changes or we reschedule. Does that work for you? If he answers with clarity and follow-through, continue. If he avoids, attacks, or promises without change, downgrade access. Keep a simple note of the outcome so you don't rewrite history later. Add a self-audit. Did you keep your response window, tone, and sleep? Repair your side if needed without over-explaining. Your life must expand as you contain reactive patterns. Build 2 pillars that make restraint sustainable: purpose and people. Purpose is one concrete project that matters regardless of relationship status, a certification, fitness milestone, creative build, or savings goal. People means a small circle that reflects your standards. Schedule recurring check-ins and share your weekly boundary review with them: 1 win, 1 slip, 1 intention. Ask for accountability, not advice. You are constructing a world where attention is not your oxygen. That world makes your choices free rather than defensive. Finally, track the subtle gain that proves this work is working. The gap between stimulus and response widens. You notice the ping without obeying it. You recognize the pull to rescue and choose one sentence instead. You feel the old panic rise at night and meet it with a plan, not a plea. Record these wins. Each is evidence that self-governance is no longer a concept but a daily practice. As the inner noise quiets, you stop treating men as regulators of your mood and start treating them as partners who either align or do not. In that clarity, silence is not a threat, it's the space where your real voice becomes the standard. By now, you've seen how restraint exposes dynamics that constant talking hides. The last move is integration, living your standards without drama. The first challenge in this phase is relapse into overexplaining when anxiety spikes. You'll feel the itch to justify your pace, your boundaries, your abstinence. Treat the itch like a wave. Set a 10-minute timer and breathe slowly. During the timer, write a 3-line draft that names your position, your boundary, and the next step. I'm moving slowly. I won't debate this at night. Let's talk tomorrow at 6. When the timer ends, send only those 3 lines or send nothing. The practice teaches your body that you can feel urgency without obeying it. A second challenge is fear of missing out. You'll see other women rewarded for constant availability and you'll question your path. Counter it with a values inventory. Choose 3 top values: peace, honesty, reciprocity, and map each to a behavior this week. Peace equals a device cutoff time, honesty equals direct requests, reciprocity equals a 1-to-1 offer-response ratio. Every evening, score each value 0 or 1 and write one sentence about how holding it felt in your body. After 7 days, decide from the scores, not from the loudest story in your head. Abstinence exposes the difference between desire and compulsion. The challenge is withdrawal, old urges dressed up as chemistry. Build a cravings plan in advance. When a surge hits, follow the 20-minute rule, move your body for 5 minutes, hydrate, take a short shower, then complete a simple task. Only after the 20 minutes choose whether to reach out. Pair this with a weekly, body yes/no, check after dates, write 2 columns, what felt calmly good and what felt pressured. Keep the list. You are training discernment so intimacy becomes a deliberate choice, not a shortcut to certainty. Another challenge is loneliness that returns in quiet rooms. Replace vagueness with structure. Schedule 2 standing anchors each week, 1 skill appointment, language, music, certification, and 1 social appointment with a grounded friend. Before bed, answer 3 lines: 1 thing you built, 1 urge you surfed, 1 boundary you kept. This keeps your identity growing while contact ebbs and flows. You don't wait for connection to feel alive, you generate it. Re-entry after a pause brings its own test. Words are cheap, containers tell the truth. If you choose to reconnect, set a 21-day trial with 3 behaviors on both sides. From him, planned contact, respectful tone under stress, and kept plans. From you, response window, no late-night debates, and direct requests. Put the trial on your calendar with check-ins every 7 days. If the atmosphere improves and both of you keep the frame, proceed. If not, end with a clean line: we didn't meet the container. I'm stepping back to protect my well-being. Shame may flare when you hold standards without apology. It will whisper that you're difficult or cold. Don't fix shame with performance. Use rain in under 2 minutes, recognize the feeling, allow it without fixing, investigate where it sits in your body, and nurture with 1 phrase: firm and kind can coexist. Follow rain with 1 action aligned to your value, like finishing your workout or preparing tomorrow's meals. You metabolize the emotion through behavior, not arguments. Your inner masculine needs a daily job, so you stop outsourcing structure to a partner. Draft a 1-page personal constitution and read it every morning for 30 days. Under communication, write planned calls, 24-hour cooling. Under intimacy, write abstinence until clarity. Under time, write sleep and morning protocol protected. Under conflict, write issue, impact, request once. Track compliance with simple check marks. Add a 2-minute rehearsal of your core boundary out loud each morning. When pressure comes, your body recognizes the lines as familiar and safe. Closure is a skill, not an accident. If a connection ends, keep the exit honorable. Send one concise message that reflects your standard without blame. Calm consistency matters to me. We haven't been able to build it. I'm stepping away. Begin a 14-day self-respect protocol, protect sleep, complete daily movement, share your weekly review with one friend, avoid social media checks, and list 3 ways you kept your word to yourself each night. Closure done this way turns pain into proof that you choose yourself. The wider arc of individuation is simple: you move from explaining to choosing, from reacting to responding, from being auditioned to being aligned. Silence is not a weapon, it is a boundary that makes room for the self to lead. Abstinence is not deprivation, it is the pause that returns ownership of your body and pace. Structure is not rigidity, it is the frame that protects warmth. When you live like this, men either rise to meet clarity or fall away without spectacle. You no longer fear the unknown because your life is known to you, your mornings, your work, your friends, your standards. Close with a final integration ritual for the next month. Each morning, write 2 lines, up to me, and not up to me. Each evening, log 3 check marks, response window kept, device cutoff honored, sleep protected. Once a week, run a 30-minute sovereignty review. What behavior increased my peace? What behavior decreased it? What one adjustment will I practice next week? Keep the pages. They are receipts for your growth. You did not become distant, you became deliberate. You did not become cold, you became clear. In this clarity, connection is no longer a rescue mission. It is a choice made by 2 adults who can tolerate reality and build on it. That is emotional freedom. That is self-sovereignty. That is peace you can feel in your breath and see on your calendar.